Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Devil May Cry 4. These things that we're starting off the mission fighting are called Mephistos. So first we had Baal, now we have Mephisto. If we could only work Diablo in there, we would have all three prime evils. These things are shrouded in black mist. You have to shave it off with either Snatch or ideally with charge shots. Once you pierce through the cloak, you can do whatever you please with the demon underneath. They are cowardly and they're weak. They have more dangerous, more aggressive older brothers called Fausts, which is a clever naming convention because Faust is the one who sold his soul to a demon named Mephistopheles for power. And now, since we picked up the Rusalka corpse from Baal during the last mission, our devil arm will now glow in the presence of secrets, like it's doing now. The closer you are to a secret, the more it'll glow. So that includes red orb caches and secret missions. And speaking of secret missions, there are two in this level. I'm gonna skip both of them for now. One is really tricky for the time being, the other one is just long and kind of boring. Also, there's a bunch of red orbs up here, and there's a gold orb over there. And this one, which would normally be a tricky jump, but because you can do a mid-air stinger, what is that called? Caliber, right. Because you can do the caliber over to it, kind of get an air dash out of that, it brings you close enough to where you can snatch it out of mid-air. So we have some new clothes on for this mission. We have a new costume. This is one of the costumes, the alternate ones, that Nero starts the game with. So here's one of the secret missions. This costume with the bluish-purple coat and the scarf, it's a lot closer to what Nero's original design was in the concept art. So in here we have a bunch of, I almost called them Nello Angelos. No, Biancos. Whoops! You can hear them revving it up just like Red Queen, and behind this mirror there are a bunch of red orbs. Let's see if we can smash that before we fall. You can stand on the lip of the fireplace, and that is where the second secret mission of the game lies. For some reason, I remember that being red orb cache behind that mirror. Probably just thinking of all the other spots with the breakable mirror in the castle. Holy shit, okay, I have to stop trying to do that. It's bad enough when I don't learn my lesson the first time, but when it takes multiple hits to get it through my head, that just sucks. So this one, we could have done the other one technically, but it's really tough right now. That one is just not worth it. That's the one I was talking about that's super goddamn boring. The basic deal with it is that you take a gyro blade, and you have to... It's the same hallway as the 4 gyro blades from before. You have to push it all the way down the hallway, breaking a bunch of stuff over the course of like 2 or 3 minutes. Not worth it whatsoever. Just a single blue orb fragment that really you only need for completionist's sake. You can make an argument that you might need, that the extra health on Dante Must Die might be a little bit desirable. But honestly, if you're playing on DMD mode, you want to get to the point where you're not taking many hits anyway. A lot of enemies, I mean a lot of them, will just one-shot you. So now this opens up a new part of the castle for us. And it will also be introducing us to a new mechanic shortly. First we have to deal with the Mephistos. Because you might have noticed there were a bunch of red orbs that seem like almost cruel in how missable they are. Especially considering they grade you on that, and it's a rather important coefficient in determining your end of mission ranking, as we went over last time. So you have to figure there's probably a way to get up there. And in fact, we've seen one of the things that serves as kind of a catalyst for the mechanic to climb back up. We've seen something like that already. And in fact, we're seeing those kind of copper-looking rings around here. That's the exact thing that we saw when we smashed the coffin in the foyer. And now that we have the wing talisman, we can use that to jump off of these pads, and it propels you way the hell upwards. So all those red orbs, they're not really that easy to miss. Whoops. Now on every... It's like every tier or every other tier of this climb, this ascent, there are either like caches of red orbs, or there are red orb fountains, or there's something. Like I said before, I'm gonna stop going crazy with all the harvesting of the red orbs, because it doesn't really do much for us. I mean, we get the extra proud souls off of the better mission ranking, but that's about it. And to be honest, doing a few dry runs of each level means that I have more than enough proud souls. Like right now, I have more proud souls than you would normally have at this point in the game anyway, so I'm already ahead of the curve on that. There is a tricky little red orb under there that you wouldn't get just falling down. It's directly underneath that platform. But last time we were in that room, the floor caved in, which is how we got down there in the first place. But now that we climb back up, we're in the bottom floor of the torture chamber once again. And we have pretty much the same fight that we had in here before. They might introduce some Frost and some Mephistos now. Ooh, I got away with that. Doing a Helmbreaker right into the crowd. Normally that gets me hit by an enemy who's just waiting for me to fall out of the goddamn sky. So by now you might be wondering why they decided to make Nero the main character. And that reason is simply because Devil May Cry 4 is the first Devil May Cry game to make the jump from PS2 to PS3 hardware. And they figured since they're changing to a new generation of hardware, why not change the formula up by introducing a new playable main character? It's a real love-hate thing with Nero. You either love him or you hate him. There's a little bit of room for him to grow on you, but more or less he's kind of polarizing. Because Nero inherently doesn't have the amount of variety that Dante has access to. He doesn't get new weapons. He doesn't have access to the style system. He's got his own stuff going on, but he just doesn't have all of that. And he's not the thing that people are accustomed to, so there's always going to be that going against him as well. Like, people don't love change, usually. It's not the only reason for people to dislike Nero, though. I don't want to discount any criticism of him, because there's plenty of valid ones. But he does require a high degree of precision to master nonetheless, so he is fun to play. Personally, I do prefer Dante, just because Dante has a lot more going on. Especially in this game, which is mechanically even more rich than DMC3 was. Like, mastering one particular advanced technique that I think I've talked about before in the DMC3 LP, just one aspect of Dante takes so goddamn much effort to master, and it's a ton of fun, and it's so satisfying to pull off. There was a move for no, not Cerberus. There was a move for the gauntlets in DMC3 called Real Impact. You get a similar move, you get a move by the same name, in fact, in Devil May Cry 4 for Dante. Except you can do some really funky stuff with Devil Trigger, and the way Devil Trigger interacts with it, allows for this technique that people call distorted real impact. It's insanely damaging, but it's very timing precise. Much like, you know, pulling off lots of consecutive instant revs or max acts are in Nero's half of the playthrough. I should have done a little bit better against the frosts. But the camera in that one tight space is a little hairy. I mean, I could have pulled them out into the hallway once they engaged. I didn't want to walk into an ambush, though. All the red orbs behind here have respawned. Everything has pretty much respawned. I think the hidden orb cache in the balcony upstairs respawned. All the pews with the red orbs, god damn them, they respawned. So if you're going for all the red orbs and all the S ranks in every mission, you have to goddamn clear the pews out so many times. It's irritating. But we have actually very little left to do. Left in this mission. This is actually one of the shorter ones. Feels like the missions ballooned in length starting in Devil May Cry 3. There were still some short ones peppered in there, but for the most part, Devil May Cry 1 and 2 had pretty short missions, so what we're angling for is the wall behind that painting. So we smash that wall. That, by the way, is the high priest that Dante shot in the face in the beginning of the game. And we come down into this underground lab. There's another staircase that gets you down to that vital star, but that's all it's for, is that vital star, so... yeah, not worth it. But yeah, the underground lab.
You have awakened.
Credo.
My men are currently in pursuit of Dante. It is only a matter of time before his location is revealed.
He came to us. It was fortunate I was able to participate in the Ascension ceremony.
His Holiness! Huh. You look magnificent. You sent that cocky kid Nero to find Dante?
You question my command.
Yes! What shall befall me? Should he stumble upon my research facility?
Our priority is to capture Dante.
Why, you...
Credo.
Yes, Your Holiness.
Gather everyone. I must ease their minds on this matter.
Of course.
Yeah, that's fair. I kind of autopiloted through some of that. We had some big story revelations there towards the end. Next time we'll get to talk about them, and we'll also get to play dice. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.